So let's see for students. Well, good morning, students. Welcome to today's workshop. You will see in the chat window a link. You will use that link in order to see, well, you're going to see display the content on my screen, but also you can access to the presentation so that you can participate in the different activities for today's session. You will see there a link, and if you click on that link, that will direct you to a presentation in which you don't need a code. You just select or skip the mood that you are feeling today, and we are going to start. So I will open this in another window so that I can have also my students view working. Good. Okay, so your names are not going to be displayed in here, so don't worry, but I will be able, and also the rest of your classmates are going to be able to see the participation or your ideas in the interactive slides. Okay, so here we are. I can see a few of you in the list, even though I sent that reminder. Well, for the ones that couldn't attend, maybe they can watch the recording. Okay, so today we are going to have our first workshop for English Composition 1. The main topics that we are going to discuss during today's session are plagiarism, phrases, clauses, and sentences. Of course, there are some other contents that are going to be present during this session. This is today's agenda. Well, as I said, welcome. I already introduced myself, but I will say my name again. My name is Maria Teresa Hidalgo. I will be your tutor, and I will be more than pleased to have you as students. And of course, whenever you have a doubt, a question, or any kind of inquiry, do not hesitate. Contact me. Let me know what is going on. You can do it through campus in the doubts forum that we have, or if it is something more personal, you can do it through email. Well, we are also going to see the academic guidelines because it's important to check some important and relevant aspects of the course. We also are going to have a space for any question or doubt about the contents, the materials, or the videos that you were working on during the preparation dates. I won't say week. Then we are going to review what you have learned or what you already know. In activities 1, 2, and 3, we are going to have an ending, an explanation about the activities of journals, and other important reminders. That's basically what we are going to be doing during today's session. Also, let's continue with this. I have some rules. Basically, they are very simple. One thing is that if you are going to intervene, if you are going to participate in the session, try to activate your camera. I know that there are some devices that do not allows us to do it, but if you can do it, it will be wonderful. Also, in order to avoid disruptions, we are going to keep our microphones mute. But if you want to participate, do not hesitate to open the microphone, or if you can also use the hand signal in Teams, that will be awesome as well. We are going to avoid the use of cell phone unless you are using it for academic purposes. I'm using my cell phone to monitor the session so that I cannot be skipping the screen whenever I want to see something that is going on in the chat, or if you are raising your hand with the signal so that I can monitor in here. But if you're not using the cell phone for any other academic purpose, don't use it. Try to keep your attention here. And of course, I will ask you for respect for your peers' opinions and for everybody in the session. Okay, now, probably some of you already opened the presentation. If you haven't, you can type it on the chat. How many students from the group do you already know? I know that there are just a few of you right now, but if you can recall or remember the list of students in campus, perhaps you can have a more accurate number of how many students from the group do you already know. So please start typing your answer. I have one answer already. I do not remember how many students because I saw a lot of familiar names, but they are mixed. So I don't want to make a mistake with the number of students that I already know. But please try to give your answers. I say 1 of 7. I'll say that okay, let's see. I see. Oh, okay, Julio says that he's new, that he only knows me. Okay, so you can say 1. I'm also a student. I'm learning, Julio. I learn with all of you. Welcome, Jorge. I see also Juan Carlos. Good morning. Okay, I will share again in the chat, and I will do this here in this window. The link for the ones that just arrived. There you have it. Okay, and I will also share in a couple of minutes the academic guidance. Here we are. Okay, there are very relevant aspects. We have the schedule of activities. We have been checking that, so we're not going to take longer on that. We already know which are the general objectives of this subject. We can summarize the 7 of them on improving your writing techniques. And at the same time, we are going to include writing different type of text, identifying mistakes or errors when you are writing, the use of academic writing as well. And there are very specific things. Here we have some of the books that are going to be used during the semester, along with supplementary resources that you can explore because there are the links in there. You know already the methodology, the home study, and there is something important here, and I will give you a hands up. During the first weeks of the course, you are going to start writing. What are you going to write? You're going to write journals. And those journal entries are going to be revised by myself. In addition to that, you will also write paragraph. You are going to create outlines. And there will be self and peer review, which is important. You must participate in workshop. It is the expected thing, but sometimes I know that you have to work, that you cannot skip work. So we understand that part as well. You must be online at least 3 days a week in campus. And if you don't do it, you will receive an email from me as a reminder that you must be in there checking what is going on. Well, my role here will be clarifying doubts about the contents, about the academic guidelines, about the syllabus, about the activities, anything that you need related to the course, I'm here. Also, I can give you advice about the different tasks that you have to deliver during the semester, and for this course in particular. I will also give you advice about the different ways that you can implement to study and solve the activities that are proposed. Also, we are going to speak English as much as possible. What else do I have to do? Well, that one is a very administrative one, but I have to present a report and your performance will be included on that report. Your role, which is important and relevant, is that you have to read, complete all the activities and all the exercises that are proposed for you. Also, you are going to use the APA edition for text citations and references. If you're not familiarized with that, let me know. I can provide additional information here. I can see that some of you said 10 students, 8 students, so you already know many students. And here we have also some of the contents for the semester. Let me see. I will go back here. I have 3 of 8 responses, so we continue with the academic guideline. That will give you time to count how many students you already know. Okay, so workshop 1 will be basically about the sentence and plagiarism. You know that within the sentence we have different components, which are phrases, clauses, and of course there are different types of sentences. You already studied that. Then on workshop 2, we are going to focus our attention on sentence error, which is very relevant since you are going to be writing paragraph, which are a group of sentences. Then on workshop 3, we are going to see mechanics, punctuation, and relevant aspects related to that, paragraph structure. Then on workshop 4, academic writing, and the expository paragraphs. And at the end, on workshop 5, comparison, contrast, and paragraph. So we continue with the evaluations, which is something very important for you, and that I know that you are in the need to know what is going on with this particular section. Well, we're going to have several activities, and they are broken down as follows. We are going to have journals. How many journal entries? 3 of them. And every entry will have a percentage of 5%. So in the end, the whole journal activity will be at 15% of your course. So you're going to submit entry through entry and until you've completed the 3. But every time you submit an entry, you will receive feedback. You will receive your feedback in the form of a rubric and also comments in the document that you are going to submit. Then you will have an online quiz, which is going to represent the 20% of your grade. Then you're going to have a portfolio, which is going to be the journal entry with the improvements based on the comments and feedback that you receive on the 3 journal delivery that you are going to do. Then that one will represent a 15%. So basically, if you pay attention to this, the journal activity is divided into 2 stages. In each stage, we have a total amount of 15% of your grade. So taking into account the 2 steps, it's a 30%. Then we go to the expository paragraph, in which you're going to write a paragraph. And that one will represent a 25%. Then we are going to conclude the evaluation with a comparison and contrast paragraph, which is going to represent a 25% of the whole grade of your semester. You already know that the minimum grade to pass a course is 6. That is why it is extremely essential that you comply with everything, every activity that is required. Based on that, you will earn your grade. So basically, you cannot skip any of these. Well, the online quiz, you already have taken them. You know that you will be assigned a list of topics that you are going to study, and then you are going to be asked to complete or answer questions or complete exercises. And of course, there's going to be an allotted period in which you are going to take it. And of course, no quizzes will be reopened after the time is over. So in this part, remember, try to take your quiz in a computer, because mostly when we take it in the cell phone, it gives us problems. Okay, the journal and journal portfolio. Okay, first we are going to have the entries, right? 3 of them. And you are going to submit them in the corresponding tool that is going to be presented in Canvas. Every time that you submit an entry, you will present an estimate of 6 to 8 sentences. That basically is what makes a paragraph. Of course, there's going to be a guideline to this activity, a rubric that you can check before and after you have completed your entry. And then once you have completed the 3 entries and you have submitted them and you have received your feedback, there will be time in which you are going to prepare the rewrite. The rewrite is checking your entries, checking the comments, and based on the comments that you have received, improving what you presented first. And then you will submit it in the form of a portfolio. Additionally, you will include a reflection paper about this activity. Of course, again, there are going to be additional instructions related to this activity, and there's going to be a rubric as well. Then, about paragraph, you will be asked to write 2, 8, or 15 sentence long paragraph. From 8 to 15 sentences. Check these, sentences, not lines. And remember, you are expected to include a topic sentence, the body, which is going to consist of 3 supporting ideas and corresponding examples, and a concluding sentence. And of course, to write each paragraph, you will need to hand in an outline, which is like the skeleton of your paragraph. You will get familiar with these elements if you are not, so don't worry. And this activity will be complemented with peer and self-assessment, in which you will receive a grade to your paragraph, but that grade will be from a peer and from yourself. Of course, you will receive my grade later. But part of doing this is that you learn how to find mistakes and errors, and edit your papers. So that will give you the confidence and at the same time the skills to identify mistakes in a text. Now in here we have a pre-writing strategy. Okay, another important thing is academic dishonesty, and that is also the reason why we have included a topic related to plagiarism in the session. There are different ways on how you are going to commit plagiarism, and this is not good. Why? Because you can now submit somebody else's work or portion of work. You must cite your sources. You have to learn how to paraphrase ideas or expressions that are not yours. Also, if you're going to include a paper that is from another subject, or that it was presented in another assignment, you have to request permission. What else? You cannot just buy something and present it as yours, even though you have paid for that. It's not your work. And definitely you cannot use somebody else's ideas or words in your assignments. So you must cite. You must make sure that you are citing or acknowledging the source. And if you plagiarize intentionally or unintentionally, the work in question will be automatically given a 0. So you will receive an email from me with a copy to the course coordinator explaining the reasons why I will not grade a paper, showing you the portions that you took from another's work that are not yours, that you are not citing, that you are not paraphrasing properly, and you will be given a 0. About late assignments. No late assignments will be accepted unless you know that there are an exception here. You hand in a valid medical certificate, and that must comply with this. It includes your medical disability for at least 5 days before the assignment due date. It's not that the day that you were supposed to submit the assignment, got sick and couldn't present the assignment. It must be 5 days before present. And of course, you will need the approval from the course coordinator. She will analyze your case, and later she will issue a written permission. If that's the case, I will receive also the notification, and you will have a chance to present the assignment. And the document may be subject to verification. For quizzes and exams, applies the same. A medical certificate should be presented. And in here we have the different dates. Right now we are on workshop 1, which started in a bit of hurry. Then we have sentence error, and as you see here, we also have the journal entry, right? Before Easter, we are going to be presented already 2 journal entries. And I will see you on workshop 2 on April the 9th. Then we have Easter. I think there's a mistake here. There's a typo because you see we are going to see each other on workshop 3. Let's see, April. Once Easter is over, is 18th. I bet I will see you on the 23rd. Because later I will see you on May. So there you go. And we continue with the different topics. Once Easter is over, you will present journal 3, and then and on workshop 3 we are going to cover mechanics and the paragraph. Here you will have chance for the online quiz, which is going to be on May the 6th. And then it comes midterms, which is going to be your journal portfolio. Here later we'll start with academic writing for workshop 4 and expository paragraph, simple sentences and simple outline, and also the peer editing. Then you will have peer editing from June the 4th to Monday, June the 6th. Then peer editing period will be from the 7th to the 9th. And you are going to correct and upload your paragraph from June 10th, which is going to be a Friday, until Sunday the 12th. There you go. Then we continue studying compare and contrast paragraph. And you will have again a period for peer editing, another period for peer editing here, and a period to correct and upload your paragraph, which is going to be the final assessment. I hope that we don't have the need of deferred evaluation, but in case, you will have the chance to take that evaluation on July the 16th, and I really pray for not presenting recent exams, which is going to be presented on July 18th. And that's basically how the semester is going to be presented. You already know that I must answer your doubts in less than 24 hours. You know that all workshops are online, and we cannot have students from another group here or from another course unless there's permission for that. And in here we have a couple of suggestions for you to study, and this is very important, the context. Who is our major coordinator? Rolando Guzman Martinez. Here we have his email, and also the one for la coordinación, right? Coordina Carrera, that English instancia. Then we have the course coordinator, who is Ana Maria Patres. And here we are. We are virtual group 2, and I am just right here. Maria.larin@us.edu.sb. That's me, and that's a way you can contact me. You can also send direct messages in Teams, like if you were chatting in WhatsApp. That is the case if you are in a need of something, and if you have Teams in your cell phone, you can also send an email. Something important and very relevant about myself, and I do not want to forget it, is that I have a rule at my workplace. I cannot have my personal cell phone there, neither my computer, due to the nature of my job. For students that have taken courses with me, you know that I answer really quick, but I have changed that due to my job, because I'm not working anymore in the place where I used to work when I was your tutor. So I will start answering messages at 5 p.m. But if I have chance during lunchtime, which is sometimes at 12 when I'm lucky, or at 1 or 2 p.m., I will take a look at my cell phone in case that you have any doubt, but mostly wait my answers at 5. And as I said, if it is something really important, you can also send a message through MS Teams. And during these days, I've been trying to check my cell phone often so I could check what was going on with students. And probably some of you noticed that I was even sending emails in the morning, but that was the reason why, because we just started and I did the extra mile. And let me see what else. We have rubrics, so you can start checking what is going to be assessed for you in every activity. And until this point, do we have questions? I will stop sharing for a moment. Yeah, for responses of 10. I see that also Ruth Marlene joined us. Welcome, Ruth. So do we have questions related with all these administrative aspects that I just shared? No?
No, I don't have.
No, I understood.
I guess those questions probably are going to come up later, especially when we have the activities.
Yes, yes.
So don't worry. I know that sometimes we have tons of information in a moment and it's like, ooh, too much. And we are still processing that information, and later we come up with questions. So don't worry about that. We are going to check how many responses do I have. Let's see. Let me see. 4 students. Okay. 2. Only 2 classmates. Only 1. And Julio, that he said that he knows no student. And Jorge Armando, he said 10 students, and Susana Evelyn 8 students. Okay, let's see. Let's go back. Okay, I want a couple of you to participate and share with us your expectations about the course. Some of you already did it in the chat. Rosia said that she only knows 2 classmates. So maybe the ones that didn't introduce in campus can introduce themselves here and tell us a little bit about your expectations for the course, for the semester, and how do you feel now that we have started the semester?
Okay, I would like to start.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Yesenia Garcia. And first of all, my apologies because I have no camera,
Okay.
and that's a problem that I would like to in uh, solve them. So, um, I like I mentioned, my name is Yesenia Garcia. I'm 29 years old. I live in Tonacatepeque, from San Salvador. And my expectation for this course is to provide for me new knowledge that I could complete with my old knowledge that I acquired in the past courses. So I hope that we are going to learn a lot of with you, Lid, Maria, and with all experience with all the participants.
Thank you very much, Yesenia. And another student.
Me.
Go ahead.
Well, can you listen me?
Yes, I can listen, Rocio.
Well, my name. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Rocio Mejia. I have 20 years old. I live in Sonsacate, in from Sonsonate, and my hobbies are painting and playing to violin, and sometimes, right? And I hope that learn a lot in this subject because I want to improve my composition in English, right, and my vocabulary and my orthographic when I write in English. And I hope that we work in and well group or a good group will help you in other age, right? And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Rocio, and welcome. Another student who wants to share expectations, his or her name.
Hello, teacher and classmates.
Hello.
My name is Julio Burgos. I am 46. I'm sorry for the background sound.
Okay.
My neighbor is with some tank and he's making a noise.
Don't worry. Here, sometimes there's a church right in front, so we have background music sometimes. So go ahead.
Okay, I am from San Salvador. I am living here in San Miguel. I am 46 years old. My expectations for this subject is to improve my writing and improve my speaking and listening. I'm glad to be here with all of you. Thank you. It's all. Sorry for the background.
No, don't worry. Yeah. Don't worry, when we have neighbors, they have their weekends. We are busy on our weekends, so don't worry. That's something that happens. Okay, so let's continue with the activities for the session. We already reviewed the academic guidelines, which is an important document that we can use as a reference whenever we need it. Keep that in mind. And if something goes wrong or confusing in the academic guidelines, let us know. Send a message, type it in campus, so let us know what is going on. Okay, first activity, plagiarism. You already know what plagiarism is, right? So I will ask you to match the type of plagiarism with its corresponding definition. I will model this for you, by the way. We go here, and we have different tools in Perdic. We have a highlighter, a pencil, we have text, and we have also an eraser. I will show you how to use a pencil. You can select a color, you can keep it black. That is up to you. And for example, let's say that global plagiarism means rephrasing someone else's ideas to present them as your own. We know that it's not true, right? But that's what I want to see how to use it. And it's not correct, right? So we can erase it, clean it, and we can even use the line. There we are. And whenever you need text, you just select the letter T, type in the place where you want to add the text. I'm modeling this because later we will need it. And there you go. And if you want to delete that, you just click on the square and type delete or suprimir if you have a Spanish.
I'm sorry, licenciada Hidalgo,
Yeah.
but I can see your screen.
You cannot see it.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a
Cannot
second.
follow.
I think my pad is too sensitive. And I have 1 week with this computer, so I'm still managing the pad. And I even touch it. Now can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, there it is.
Yeah.
So I said that we have different tools. Pencil. This one. We have the line. We have the highlighter that works as the pencil. And text, you just click on the T, click in the place where you want to type, and there you go. Then you click out of the box, you have it active, and if you want to delete it, you just type delete, and it's gone. Okay, there it is. So I will let you to match the type of plagiarism with its corresponding definition. I will go back to my slide. We're seeing everything clean, right, on the screen.
Yes.
Good, thanks for letting me know. So we have different definitions here. It means recycling your own past work. It means stitching together parts of different sources to create your text. It means rephrasing someone else's ideas to present them as your own. It means directly copying someone else's words. It means passing off an entire text by someone else as your own work. I can see 6 responses. The first one that we are going to see probably is mine. Yes?
I am having trouble to load the activity.
What is wrong?
I think my computer is slow or my internet connection, but I can
Don't worry. Don't worry. Yeah, I know that sometimes our internet connection does not help.
want to participate. Just wait me a little.
Okay, don't worry.
Miss Hidalgo, there is
Yes?
not a submit button, right? I
No,
guess because I don't
there's
see it
not a
anywhere.
submit button because I have here the option show responses. You see my example here on screen? Then I can see
Yes.
what you are doing. See? That's why there's not a submit option.
I see. Thank you.
My pleasure. We have.
Excuse me, Lick.
Yes?
In my case, I have never used this kind of activities. You know, my classmates are answering, matching, but I don't know how to use it. I have never used it.
Okay, so let me model again. You have the presentation open, right?
Yes.
Okay, let me go to students window. Here we are. And let me erase so I can you see better how to do it. Okay, we have 2 ways to do it. We do it with the pencil. We click there. We can select a color, but it is already black as default. And you drag the line with the click and the left button of your mouse.
Okay.
Or you can use the line, which is easier because you don't have to rely on your hand, but just on the movement. There you go.
Okay, but in my case, which option I'm going to
You can use either pencil or the line.
Okay, I'll try. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Later I will send you videos on how to use Perfect. I thought that you have already used this tool.
Okay,
I finished.
okay, thank you, Lick.
My pleasure. And if you are using a cell phone, I think that you can, yeah, you can just do it with your finger. I'm doing it with my finger here in the computer.
Oh, okay.
I am using both my PC and my cell phone. And
Yes.
work very good and
Yeah, for tracing is really easy with the cell phone. Okay, let's see. We have 11 responses. I'm going to see some of yours. That's mine. So we are going to pretend that it's not there. Okay, let me see. There it is. Let's see, self-plagiarism. Yes, when you take something that you already did or present, and you present it as if you already did it. Okay. Ooh, that answer. And let's see. Let's continue seeing what else you have. Okay, check this. Global plagiarism means passing off an entire text by someone else as your own work. Who can give me an example of this particular form of plagiarism?
Of which one, sorry?
Of global plagiarism. I will mute my microphone for a moment.
I will say like maybe when someone look for, as it says, an entire work already done and just change the name on it.
That's right. It's like when you go to the internet, you go to monografias.com and you have all the contents that you're supposed to present, just copy and paste it in Word. You create your cover page and set, right? You submit it. That is global plagiarism.
What if you use, for example, a picture from someone and you don't
Well,
tell the name?
that could be considered plagiarism, but of course, if you're addressing that picture as yours, that would be 100% plagiarism. Because sometimes we include pictures in our written papers, right? But we already know that sometimes those pictures are not ours. For example, if we present a picture that displays a famous landmark, for example, and we haven't visited that landmark,
And
but there are ways to address these kind of elements in a written paper so that we do not commit plagiarism. There is a particular way to address the source when using pictures.
but some people just upload works or pictures or music without any copyright. What if you use it? It counts like plagiarism. I mean, if they have no copyright, it's plagiarism or not?
When they do not have copyright, like when you go to YouTube Audios Library and you just download a track and then you include it in a video, like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
or image.
that's not a problem because that one is available for everybody, and there are no legal consequences for you to use that particular audio or that particular picture.
Okay, thank you.
And sometimes there are some authors or people that when they are using from these kind of sources, they include a note in which they state that they are using extract from this website. Let's see what else. Okay, we have self-plagiarism. What is that? We tend to do that, and we do it sometimes unintentionally.
Maybe as you said, that when we unintentionally let's say that we remember that we already presented something similar to a different tutor, and we think that at the end it was our work, so we just take some ideas from it, but we don't do it properly, let's say, because we think that since it's our own work, we don't have to do it.
Exactly. Yeah, we made that assumption that even though we already work on this, it's our, and there's no problem to just adding, replacing, and presenting it again. But you are committing plagiarism. Then we have paraphrasing plagiarism. What is that? How you commit paraphrasing plagiarism?
Sometimes you just change some words of another person's work.
Yes, sometimes that's what we do.
At
We
the
take
same time, sometimes we used to change like the numbers of the words. I mean, for example, we can change the order of the words. In that way, we are paraphrasing the text or something like that.
Exactly.
Excuse me, Lick?
And we are not addressing the source.
Okay. Lick, can I say something about paraphrasing plagiarism?
Yes, tell me.
Okay, as the concept says, it means paraphrasing someone else's ideas to present them as your own. Sometimes there are some, some students that they get a lot of idea from different, authors, and they present, in a whole paper. So I know that sometimes they have, they don't have enough time to create their own work, but you know that paraphrasing or plagiarism is not good. So what we have to do is, okay, as students, is to try to don't paraphrase, don't, okay, if we paraphrase something, we have to explain where we get the idea, and we have to give our own ideas too.
Exactly, our own
Uh-huh.
ideas. Sometimes our
Uh-huh.
own ideas resemble to somebody else's words, but um, what we can do is, as you said, cite sources. If you are using a particular bibliography, let us know that you are reading from there. If
Okay,
you
exactly.
are, if you are using somebody else's definitions, let us know that according Piaget, that according Vygotsky, that according X author, you are coming up with this definition based on his or her ideas.
Okay, that's the good option, and give our own ideas also.
Exactly. It is a mixture of my ideas and an author, a person that knows about the topic, mixture. That's how
Okay,
effective writing works. My ideas plus somebody else that supports what I'm saying.
okay, thank you, Lick.
Good. Then you also mentioned a little bit about patchwork or mosaic plagiarism. And that one sometimes it's hard to get, but not impossible. Because there are tools that analyze the text and show you in different colors, in different sections, which are the different sources. And then we think, we are going to confuse the tutor. We are going to confuse the teacher. They're not going to find out. Of course that we find out what is going on. And thinking that different sources maybe are not going to be easy to track, sometimes patchwork is too evident. Then we have copy and pasting. That is directly taking one thing and put it into our written piece of paper and presenting it as ours. I added here in the purple bubble, it's not a form of plagiarism. To get you confused with it means recycling your own password. If you recycle what you already did, it's self-plagiarism. So in here, the whole definitions that we have are different forms of plagiarism. And please, when presenting your papers, be careful. When in doubt, when you might think that you are going to commit plagiarism, ask for help or ask, is it okay if I do this? Because in this point, from this point and on, plagiarism will be taken really, really serious. Will be taken as a serious issue because you already know what it is, the different forms and how to commit plagiarism. And you are taking English Composition 1. So please, whenever you are in doubt, ask. And of course, I will create a special entry in next week's tab so that you can have access to material related with plagiarism, citing, paraphrasing, in-text citation, that even though it's not something that you will be doing directly during the semester, because right now it's just paragraphs, but you have to learn how to do it, how to avoid it. So you can give a
question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let's say that we are working on preparing a lesson plan, and we want to use a worksheet. So we use images to, see it a little bit colorful and things like that, the worksheet. So how should we cite, let's say, an image in a worksheet?
Well, that on simple terms, without following any IPA step, what you can do is that you at the end of your worksheet, you type pictures taken or retrieved from, and you add the website where you got those pictures. That would be the simple way to let people know that those pictures are not yours, that you take them from another source. That is the simple way.
I see. Thank you. And should we do it by picture if we use different websites?
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you.
And we can just cite include a small dot or an asterisk or another sign to indicate which work belong to each website. But as I said, that is the practical way to do it. Later, you will see examples on how to cite pictures based on APA, which is the one that you are going to use in the second part of this subject. Okay, so now we are going to watch a video about plagiarism. Let me stop for a moment, please, because I just remember that I did not share the audio. And we are going to need confused. Here we are. And let me play it with a different. Were you able to listen?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Good.
Yes, yes, we listen.
Okay. I will move the window so that you can look at the example. We are citing the authors, the year of publication, and after that introduction, we have the paraphrased information or a statement from those two authors. And it has a name, in-text citation. Okay, I'm going to pause the video until this point, and I will ask you, why do students commit plagiarism? Or why do teachers commit plagiarism? Because sometimes, well, when I was studying, which is long ago, we weren't aware about plagiarism. So unintentionally, a couple of times, this person that you have right in front of you committed plagiarism. I wasn't aware, my teachers didn't mention it, and yes, sometimes teachers also do it. After that surprising fact, what do you think students commit plagiarism?
I think is one reason is for they have no idea about the homework or we let for the last minute and have no time and it's easy to copy and paste.
Mhm. Thank you. What other reasons are behind committing plagiarism?
Could be that sometimes students have a lot of things to do. I mean, a lot of homework to do. and they just look for the easiest way to complete everything without, taking the time to look for the actual resources to do their work. Or, as Julio said, because they procrastinate a lot and they leave everything until the last minute.
Exactly. Those are very common reasons. We have additional reasons about this?
Sometimes the students maybe don't get the idea how to make that word, and it's better for them just copy and paste or try to get an idea from a different document. Sometimes students don't have enough ideas to how to do a job, and that's the reason why they look um, in different document. But at the beginning, that's fine. The thing is that you can read something and try to get ideas about that job, but not copy and paste, and that's what some students get their ideas. And hey, this is a great document. This is a great job. Just let me copy and paste, and I will get the best score that I can. That's what happens sometimes.
Okay.
Okay, can I give my opinion about
Yes.
plagiarism?
Go ahead.
Okay, in my case, I think that first of all, um, most of students don't like analyze, don't like research, don't like reading. So it's because of culture. For example, at school, if you have 10 students, just one or two like searching in the internet, investigating, and and analyzing. So they don't like to do that. It's difficult for them. And they plagiarize most of their their homeworks.
Yes.
So,
And also,
and uh
and also sometimes as teachers, we do not start from the beginning to address plagiarism as it is. Because plagiarism is something that we do not listen at school. You can continue.
okay, excuse me. Yes, I agree with you. If from the beginning we tell them that plagiarism is not being honest, probably they are going to continue uh, plagiarizing. But if we tell them that that's not good, they have to be honest, and we continue, during the whole year, telling them that they have to present their own works, even if it's not to, I don't know how to say it, even if they don't write too much, but they are giving their own words. So they are going to be motivated, I guess.
Yes.
I
Okay,
think that
now
it will
Um,
be, I'm sorry.
go ahead.
Yeah, I think that it would be nice if we, as a future teachers, let's say, we include that also in our teaching methodology, because if we from the beginning start to implementing this, then at the university students won't feel like they didn't know it from before, let's say. Because to be honest with you, in elementary school, I used a lot of Wikipedia articles and things like that, and nobody ever mentioned me anything about plagiarism until a university. And even though I knew the definition of plagiarism, it wasn't something that I was, let's say, aware of that I was doing it.
Exactly. So the main way to avoid plagiarism is being aware, letting our students know. So we teachers are the first front against plagiarism. If we let our students know that plagiarism exists, what it is, the different types of plagiarism, probably we are going to decrease the number of students who later go to university and face really hard consequences for committing plagiarism. That is one thing. And another way to solve plagiarism, based on the reasons that you already provided before, how we can avoid that students commit plagiarism.
Well, I think it's like a culture to copy and paste because uh, we never been taught us in school, and they didn't tell us that it's a crime. So I think it's like Jorge said, they have to implement this in school to tell us that we don't have to do this type of crime. Well, it's called a crime.
Exactly. We are not aware. As I said, that is a surprising fact. But when I was at university, my professors never addressed to plagiarism. And I just remember one, and that professor did it on my last year of the teaching degree. Imagine until how far how far my steps were in the degree. That on my last year, a professor addressed plagiarism. But before that, I wasn't aware on the different ways of committing plagiarism, neither that there were consequences for committing plagiarism. So if we let our students know that it's not okay just copying from the internet and just presenting things as they did it, maybe we are going to create a different culture on the way they research, on the way they use somebody else's ideas. Now, you also mentioned something related with the amount of assignments and time. Do not, I know, and this is something that probably is combinado due to the late start of the semester, at least for our side here in composition. We have worked on a way in which you are not going to experience that rush for presenting papers and activities. Because as you saw, everything has the right dosage. It's not too much, but not too little for you to study or for you to present. And also, when it comes to time management, sometimes, and I don't know, as a student, I used to have my schedule for preparing and being ready to present or submit assignments, especially when I was taking the BA, which is la licenciatura, because I was working. And when you work and also study, so you have to find the balance, organize your time accordingly so that you are not in a rush to present a homework or that you forgot to submit something. So basically, here in virtual education is exactly the same. Even though you are not working, you have to prepare your schedule and be aware of dates in the period of time that you have in order to present an assignment. Also, you mentioned that probably you did not understand what to do, or did not have a clear idea of what was expected from you. When that is the case, as your tutor, ask me. Don't be afraid that I'm going to say why you didn't understand what I said during the session. Come on. Probably you weren't at the session because you were at work, or probably my explanation wasn't clear enough, or I did not provide an example, or something went wrong. and you did not get the clear picture of what it was expected for that assignment. So from my side, whenever something is not clear from an assignment or anything, let me know, because I will be there. Same, if you need to see me in the middle of a week because something happened and I do not understand or I don't know what to do, let me know. So another recommendation on how to avoid plagiarism from your side.
I know that it's gonna be like really bad for the students, but another good way to avoid plagiarism is marking it down. So if we mark it down, they will try to find a way to do it better, to do it correctly. So, and I know that it's gonna be maybe at the beginning frustrated because they don't know the definition or how to do it properly at that point. But if we teach them, we show them how to do it, then it's gonna be easier.
Exactly. It's the hard way sometimes the one that works. I don't like it, but sometimes it's is the right measure. And maybe just to avoid the conflict and the frustration, if they already know what is going on or what is going to happen, probably they will take care of what they are presenting. They will be aware that they are not including somebody else's ideas without mentioning that person or that source. So, and as you said, it's a terrible thing to do, because I remember the first time that I reported a student and I wasn't pleased, and I was not feeling good. Later the student was not feeling good about it, but since it was in university level, since she was taking composition and she was pretty aware about plagiarism, I had no choice. So another contribution so that we can continue with the video. No? Okay, let's continue. Check those solutions about paraphrasing. Learn how to paraphrase, changing word order, word form, word order. But else, take notes using your own words. And you can also use quotation marks for all quotes. Those are very simple ways to avoid plagiarism when paraphrasing? Well, and that one about academic honesty. Probably here in the country it's not widely known that there are research taking place. But in other countries, as in the United States, in England, academic research is a really important component. And academic honesty in those particular research is something valuable. Now, taking this as a personal matter, especially since it's something that talks about yourself, you have to keep honesty as a high policy, something that you will do always, especially when presenting your assignments. Okay, so to give this an end, do you understand what plagiarism is?
Yes.
Yes.
Clear. Clear.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes, I
Have you?
understand.
Okay. Have you ever committed plagiarism?
Yes, and we.
Yes.
Okay. What type of
Unintentionally, but
plagiarism?
yes.
Okay. What type of plagiarism?
The bad one.
Copy and paste. Copy paste.
I guess the most common one, just copy and paste.
Copy and paste. Yes, that one
Yes,
is really common one.
the copy and paste.
Do what?
I
And
agree.
I think
I went
everybody
to
wants
Haile.
in time.
I went to Haile
Hard copy.
University because I take something that I presented long ago in another subject. I presented in another one, but the misconception that if you work on something, it's yours, right? But no, it isn't. So whenever you're in doubt about plagiarism and that probably you are going to commit it, just consult, check. And now let's see, next question. What problems might cause you to plagiarize?
And when we plagiarize, if the teacher knows, we are going to have or we're not going to have a grade, first of all. And then we don't feel good because in high school, when I copy and paste in social studies, later I felt like I didn't learn anything. So that's
Yeah,
what I think.
yeah. So we have
In this
serious.
case, I think the university can eject you from you from your career.
Exactly, you can be expelled of the career. Also, what else can happen if you plagiarize?
If the author notices, it can take legal actions as well.
Yes, it could be even more serious than just being expelled. And how will you avoid plagiarism?
Paraphrasing, the most
Paraphrasing.
common.
And if taking something exactly as the author said, what are you going to do?
You must quote.
You must
Yeah,
quote.
and cite
Exactly.
them.
And let us know that those quoted words are from Mr. Right? From a Mr., from a Miss, from someone.
Or just be honest with yourself.
Yes. Keep honesty as a high policy. Yeah, it's really, really important. So let's keep those things in mind. We know that all are guilty, that at a certain point in our life we committed plagiarism. Probably we weren't aware about it. Now, if we do it, we are aware about it. So that's even a bit complicated. Okay, let's see. Now let's go to this activity 2. So we have phrases, clauses, and sentences. Before working on this, what is a phrase? Because I need to make sure we have a clear understanding on this.
It's a group of related words that doesn't contain a subject or a verb.
Exactly. What about a clause?
A clause.
A clause contain an independent clause and an independent clause, and it has a noun and a verb.
Yes, we have two types, as you said, dependent or independent. And they have a noun or subject and a verb.
And
And
also
we
a
also,
clause. Excuse me.
And
yeah,
has an adjective.
what else?
Okay.
And let's see, do we have different type of phrases?
Yes.
Yes, we have different type of phrases. We
Okay,
have the
what's the
prepositional,
one?
we have the participial, the gerund, the infinitive, the positive,
Positive.
and the nominative, absolute
Nominative,
phrase.
noun phrases, infinitive phrases, appositive phrases. We have different type of phrases.
An absolute.
Okay, so right now, here, we are going to decide if the underlined words that you see in each statement are phrases or clauses. And you can even type, if you have space, you can type what type of phrase or clause those underlined words are. I will go to here, to the students' view so that we can see. And you can select text. You type, I will type here now. Okay, so as soon as she started studying more, her grades began to improve. What do you think about that one? Is
I
it a
think
clause or a phrase?
I consider that is a clause because in the clause expressed as complement of, right, and can be stand alone as a sentence. And I understand this sentence like a clause because have a verb and a subject.
Yes. And do we have a particular type of clause here? Is it an adverbial, prepositional, an infinitive phrase, a noun, pardon, I mean a noun clause, an
An
adverb.
adverb.
I think a subordinate conjunction because I start with assume.
I think it's an adverb clauses.
Adverbial. Adverbial. Okay, yes, it's an adverbial because we are using as soon as, an adverb of time. What about the second one? Do you find your phone under the couch cushions? Is it?
For me, it's a phrase.
It's a phrase. What type of phrase?
Let me see.
Adverbial also.
Adverbial phrase.
Yes, thank you. It's a adverbial phrase. I was looking in the information.
Are you sure that it's adverbial?
Let me see.
I think is a prepositional phrase.
Oh,
Exactly.
because of the preposition. Prepositional
Yes,
phrase.
exactly.
Okay, thank you. Prepositional phrase.
There it is. Prepositional. Under. Good. Number 3. I accepted my responsibility because I like to be sincere. What do you think about number 3? Phrase, clause.
It's a clause because the adverbial clause is because the subordinate conjunction.
Okay. A clause and it's an adverbial, right? Adverbial clause. We are stating a reason. What about number 4? Known for her beautiful painting skills, Ma felt comfortable charging a higher price for her portrait.
That is a participle phrase.
Participle phrase. Yes. Let's see. Phrase in what type? Participle. Why is it a participial phrase? What is the word or element that tells us that it's a participial phrase?
The adjective.
Known. An adjective that, a participial that is working as an adjective, right? Number 5. Learning languages is what she does best.
It's a clause dependent now dependent.
It's a noun. Close, right? Let me move it a little bit. Oh, here. Say that it's a noun. Why is it a noun? Close.
Because in this sentence we have a what, and what is a noun.
Exactly. It's a noun clause beginning with a WH.
Yes, a sign of words.
Exactly. It's a word. Good. Let's go back to my slide and see some of your responses. Here we have a deleted one. Deleted one. Well, these are answers. And here we have close, close, good. Excellent. See? We hide these. And we go to this. Again. We have again the underlined words. Running around the pool. He bought. Until we reach number 5. Again, we are going to identify if they are either phrases or clauses and the type. We can work together again. Here we are. And yeah, we have text option. My hobby to read books is the most inspiring thing to do. Okay. Number 1. Is it a phrase or a clause?
I think is a infinitive phrase because the verb is ending. Well, the phrase is ending with infinitive.
Yes, it's a phrase and it is infinitive.
It's a starting. Sorry.
Yes, to read. And we have the information between commas. And if we remove that information, the sentence still has a meaning. And that is what happens with appositives. We can sometimes remove information that is between commas and we still have meaning. And it still makes sense. What about number 2? Running around the pool is not safe. Phrase or clause?
It's a phrase, gerund phrase.
Okay. It's a gerund phrase, that's right. Okay, number 3. The car he bought is extremely fast. Is it a phrase or a clause?
That is a clause.
It's a clause. Okay. What type of clause is it?
Adverbial.
An adverbial. Why is it not a adverbial one?
It is adjective clause because it's modifying the noun.
Yes. It tells us that it's not a simple car. It's the one that that person bought. So clause is an adjective clause. What about number 4? The place where we first met was beautiful.
It's the clause, noun clause.
Maybe, but I think there's something else here. It's not just a simple place. This place has something in particular. We are describing that place.
In that case, it will be, I don't know, adjective clause too.
Yes, it's an adjective clause. It's a clause to describing the place, that place in particular. And then we have the teacher decided what the next step in our project will be.
Oh, I think noun clause.
Exactly, it's a clause and it's a noun clause. Here we are. Okay. Let's see if you have typed some answers here, maybe. Yeah, we have some. A phrase, gerund, clause, clause, clause. Good. So this is like the final phrase infinitive, gerund, clause, noun, adjective, clause, clause, and noun clause. Good. Type responses. Okay, so we have here 3 steps. Simple, compound, complex sentences. In this part, you will write a personal story, something that happened to you. And you follow the steps in the slide. You will write the beginning of your story using a simple sentence. Then, you may use a different phrase or clause. Then, for the body of your story, we are going to use at least 1 compound, 1 complex, and 1 compound complex sentence. So, and for the ending, you can use another simple sentence. So, here we have 1 simple sentence for the beginning of your story. Then, we are going to add 1 compound, 1 complex, and 1 compound complex sentence. And we finish our story with a simple sentence. So basically, a 5-sentence story. That's what you are going to write. Okay? Are you ready? Do you want to recall what a simple sentence is, what a compound sentence is, what a complex sentence, compound complex? Are you ready? Yes? Okay, here you
Yes.
have. This is a slide in which you are going to write your sentence. I modeled to you how to use the text option, so go ahead. If you are not using the presentation, you can also write it down and later you can read the story to the whole group.
Miss Hidalgo, could you
Yeah.
please go back just really quick to see the requirements?
Okay. There you go.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, let me do something. And you will see this here in the chat. Oh, thank you. Just any.
You're welcome.
I go back. There you go. check attendance again. Well, a tip about the compound sentence punctuation is that when you have a coordinating conjunction, for example, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, or so, we use a comma to separate the two independent clauses. When we have a conjunctive adverb, for example, however, therefore, we use semicolon, the conjunctive adverb, and comma to join the two independent clauses. And if we do not have neither a coordinating conjunction or a conjunctive adverb, we just separate the two independent clauses using a semicolon. If you wish, I can share this resource with you so that you can keep that in mind, because it's going to be useful when writing your journal entries. And we are going to start tackling also punctuation and mechanics. You have 5 responses taking place in here. There you see, we are seeing some students working. 1 dot over here. Okay, so here we are. We hide and we leave it in blank so that you can continue working. And let me think about another important thing. Well, a complex sentence, you already know that that one has one dependent clause, which is headed by a subordinating conjunction or a relative pronoun, and that is joined to an independent clause. For example, although Tom reads novels, Jack reads comics. And in here, we can just separate the dependent and independent with a comma. Then we have different forms to use punctuation here. For example, Jack reads comics, although Tom reads novels. We do not use comma or semicolon here. Or Jack, who reads comics, we have an appositive there, information between commas, rarely reads novels. Or people who read comics rarely read novels. No commas on that example. So I will share with you how to use commas and semicolons with these type of sentences. And you know that the compound complex sentence is a mixture of different type of sentences. For example, you will have two independent clauses that are joined to one or more dependent clauses, and you will have to apply some of the previous tips that I gave you about punctuation. But as I said, don't worry about this information that I'm just sharing with you, because I will create an entry and I will paste a resource there so that you can see different examples on how to use punctuation with this type of sentences. So, you think you are ready to share your short story? It's only 5 sentences. Okay, here we have. I want to learn English. I always want to be a teacher. This is the reason why I go to university. When I was a kid, my brother listened music in English. I want to know what the lyrics say. That's a very valid purpose. Okay, forgot to scroll down. Left the country, she's super generous, so she wrote me a gamer shirt. I went to the beach yesterday with my friends. During the trip, we were laughing. Jack started eating delicious food, so Maria started too. I went to a restaurant to buy some food because they ate all the food because I love seafood. I decided to buy a fried fish, but I dislike eating while driving. Chris is a very funny dog. Read in the morning and at night. Okay, so we're doing some efforts here. We need to continue practicing with the complex sentences and the complex compound, because those are the ones that will give sophistication to your writing. Because on the way that you start mixing different patterns of sentences, your writing style will look sophisticated. So we are going to continue working on that. And do we have questions here in this point? Or do you have any doubt related with everything that we have been seeing during the session? Do you have questions?
Well, in that case, for me, everything is clear. So, but I couldn't participate in that in the last activity because um, I don't know. But for me, it was difficult to write on the slide. But
Okay.
I hope
But if
in the
you
next session. Yes, yes,
you
yes.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
don't worry.
yes, it was interesting and thank you.
Good. So if you struggle with per deck, what I will do, actually I tend to do it always. I post the presentation so that you can interact with the presentation. You can do some rehearsal during the week so that you master the tools, because I like to use per deck when I teach writing, because it allows us to write and we can see students' performance.
Excuse me,
What I said is that I enjoy using this resource because we can see when you are writing.
Okay, in my case, I had the same problem as my classmate. I have never used it, so I need to learn how to use it in order to interact more in your class.
Yes, so you will have access to this presentation so that you can rehearse with the activities. With the ones that we already did, maybe you can just rehearse in a way that you can familiarize with the tools, explore the program, and for next session, you can be ready. Also, I will look for a video on how to use the tools so that you can also watch another resource, right?
Okay, thank you.
Yes, but it was interesting because the best of this tool is that you couldn't avoid put your name and
Exactly.
well,
You're not being judged.
yes.
Exactly. So that's what I like about this, because nobody names appear here, so you're not being judged on your performance. You can make mistakes freely, and nobody will be making fun of someone in a specific because we had a typo or something. That's why I enjoyed this. I also share in this chat a link with an exit ticket, which is a really short assessment to monitor your understanding of the study topics of the session and of course of the week. So you just click there and it will direct you to a Google form questionnaire.
I have a question.
Yeah.
We are the virtual group 2 or 1?
We are group 2.
Okay, thank you.
And let me see. Just a couple of upcoming activities. I will see you on April 9th at 8 a.m. again. And well, the journal tab is already there. So you will see the materials, the rubric, the guideline. There is also a questions and answer forum. So whenever you have a doubt related to this activity in particular, drop your question there. The first entry will be, well, you will work for the first entry from March the 8th to Sunday, April the 3rd. And you are going to present this. I want to be 100% sure about it. When are you going to present? We don't have the date right here. Maybe here in the. Here we are. Okay, so here we are. You will present it on Sunday. I want to be 100% sure. That is the due date for the first entry. And here we have the guidelines. So read them. And if any question come up, let me know in the entry. Here we have an example. As you see, it doesn't have to be that long. 8 to 15 sentences, no lines, sentences. There you have the rubric also. Read it before and read it once that you have the entry. And for the topics, they are just at the end. For the first entry, we have these 7. And you have to select only one. And I will send the link again, just in case you're out of time. So it was a pleasure to have you here. I really enjoyed the session. I will share with you the resources that I told you. And please try to be connected. Ask as many questions as possible and enjoy the rest of the day. Probably you have another session. So take care, bye, and see you around.
Take care
Bye.
too. Nice to meet you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Did you take care?
Thank you, Liv. Nice to meet you too.
Thank you.
Nice
Have
to
a
Bye.
nice
meet you.
day.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
If you didn't complete the activity, do not forget I will send it to email.
Okay, thank you, Liz.
Okay, bye.
Bye.